Hello and welcome to another Lapis Guides Introduction to QGIS tutorial. Today we're going to take one step beyond rule-based queries and learn how to do graduated classification, which in some ways is a lot easier than rule-based queries, but you have a little bit less control over what your data points will look like. So in symbology, right, we're going to choose the graduated section here. Right, we need to choose a column where it's going to classify the information, and obviously we want to do that with the population. Right, we can change our symbol. We can also change the method from doing color to size. I want to choose size, and also change the different sizes that it will work with. All right. Okay, we can just go ahead and already just click classify. And what this has done is it has created, we've asked it for 5 classes down here. It's created 5 classes that are equal in size. So let's have a look at what that would be. All right, so this is what it would look like if we used that system. So not equal in size in terms of number of cities that fall into each category, but equal in size. Remember, our minimum population was 10,000 and our maximum was nearly 19 million. Right? And so what it's done is it's created 5 categories of equal amounts of population in between that. Now there are other ways to classify these instead of just doing equal interval. Natural breaks, right? We could do something like that, and let's see how that changes. Right, so you can see it changes that a lot better, makes it probably show more data. It's more useful to us. Right, we can also have pretty breaks, right? And you can see that that means that these numbers look really nice, right? One issue with this is even though we've asked for 5 classes, it's only given us 4. And if we want 6, it's not going to change that, right? If we want 7, okay, it only does it at certain intervals. So we can go ahead and click on this. And there we go. All right, and it does that. And it looks okay, but yeah, I feel like using the natural breaks, right? I think this one probably shows the data in the best way. Right, and it may be that for your specific data, you might want to choose a different one. You may want to have only 3 classes. All right, you may want to have 10 classes. It depends on your data. All right. Okay, so this is just with 3 classes. And of course, I can open this up. I can double click on one of these, and I can change the color and the shape and things like that. And so in that way, I can still modify it just as much as I can with the rule-based queries. And this is a great way to at least get started. And the interesting thing is I can actually come in here and I can switch over to rule-based, and it will keep those exact rules. But I could come in and I can modify these equations just a little bit so I can change these numbers. Right, and I can add an extra rule in the middle if I'm not satisfied. Right, so I can work with graduated classification and then switch over to rule-based if I wanted to. But I think this does a pretty great job, and it's a whole lot faster. So even though it is a whole lot faster, sometimes we would rather work with rule-based queries than graduated. Right, and that's especially true when we're working with data that is not numerical. Right, however, when we're working with numerical data like this with the population, right, it makes a whole lot more sense to work with the graduated classification system. Later on in some future modules, we'll look at how rule-based queries will help us with non-numerical data where graduated won't help us, and you'll see why it was important to learn both at the beginning. So I hope that this tutorial was helpful for you. Let me know if you have any questions, and yeah, I'll see you in the next module.